All right, good morning, traders. Today it's August 15th, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Thank you for being here. Thank you for following me. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for liking my content, sharing my content. Again, special shout out to John Jordan, Bob Jordan, Kathy, Sarah Roasted, all of you. Leave kind comments and share the content. Love that. Appreciate that. Thank you, everybody out there in podcast land, digital land, cyber land. Thank you for following my content. By the way, if there's any of you out there that are not members of the BYOB Trading Room, there is a link in the description. For just $7, you can sign up for 30 days. If you like what you're seeing, $7 gets you 30 days access into actually almost a full membership. I believe that is a full membership into the BYOB Trading Room and a full membership to the HRC family. All right, not all of the services, but the BYOB service and some of the other benefits of being part of the HRC. That's the Hit and Run Candlesticks family. All right, BYOB Trading is the day trading service of the Hit and Run Candlesticks family. All right, let's go ahead and look at what happened yesterday. Look at how we're going to trade the markets today. All right, my SPY pivot this morning, 644.25. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. QQQ, SPY, IWM, FNGU, all made lower highs and lower lows, closing over bullish traps over their 17 EMAs. Diamond Dow made an inside day. It's a lower high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. SPY closed with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. Silver still in an uptrend, made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bullish trap, but over the 17 EMA. Gold in a daily downtrend, made a lower low and a lower high, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. USO in a daily downtrend, made a lower high and made a higher low and a higher high, closing inside a bearish trap under the 17. UNG made a lower high and a lower. I don't think it made a lower high and a lower low. I think it made a higher high. Closed under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Got to check out UNG there. US dollar index still in an uptrend. Closed near the 98.22 area. SPY max pain 628 with a put to call ratio of about 3.8 puts to each call that expires today at 4:15. And we got GTX, TEL, teed up, and WDC all still starred in their launch pad positions or constructing the launch pad, looking for a possible launch to the upside. We'll see. All right, but those four, TDC, TEL, teed up, and GTX all still building out their launch pads. Probably gonna have a launch soon. We'll see. Nothing is guaranteed. All right, that's just the observation that I see so far. All right, let's take a look at some charts this morning. Start off with SPY on the 10-minute. Okay, got a 10-minute uptrend coming into the close. 2-hour uptrend coming into the close. Daily chart, obviously you've got a daily uptrend. All right, because we made a new all-time high the day before. All right, not yesterday, but the day before. Got a weekly chart. Weekly chart still in weekly uptrend. Monthly chart still in a monthly uptrend. What do I like? I like a 10-minute uptrend over VWAP. I like it when it's inside a 2-hour uptrend. That's inside a daily uptrend. That's inside a weekly uptrend. That's inside a monthly uptrend. That's what I like. I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP, but I like them even more, all right, when they have all of the stars and the planets are aligned like this, and you have all of those bigger time frames holding and pushing price higher, all right? That's what I like. 10-minute uptrend inside the 2-hour. You get it inside the daily, weekly, monthly, all right? That's what I like, all right? So let's take a look. That's SPY. Let's look at the game plan for today. And we'll look at that on the 10. See if we can drag this into focus. Let's drag this over. Pull this down just a little bit. All right, SPY pivot 644.25. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. We have a red erases green entry below 642.90. Okay, if we get below all of these, see these V bottoms down here, all of these valleys. If we get below all of these valleys, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 valleys down here. If we get below those valleys, that is a red erases green entry to the downside. Okay, we have a green erases red entry if we get over that peak and this peak right here. Okay, if we get over that, that's over 645.50. All right, so again, I like 7 days till expiration Friday options on the multiple of 5, $3 to $15 out of the money. That's my preferred option right there. Okay, I like 14 days till expiration Friday options on the multiple of 5, $3 to $15 out of the money. I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP and breaking up, and away from VWAP. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP and breaking down, and away from VWAP. All right. If I happen to get a 10-minute uptrend that manifests down here, okay, or down here, long before the green erases red entry, okay, up here, I am not opposed to trading that 10-minute uptrend to the upside, provided it breaks its bullish 10-minute rubber band candle. Okay, on the same thing on the downside. If I get a 10-minute downtrend that happens to manifest or originate from a location up here, long before the red erases green entry, okay? If I see that happening up here, I am not opposed to trading it as long as it breaks its bearish 10-minute rubber band candle. In other words, it may originate up here long before the red erases green entry down here. And the same thing goes for QQQ, all right? If they happen to have a 10-minute downtrend that happens to manifest up here, all right, and it breaks its bearish 10-minute rubber band candle, I'm not opposed to trading it to the downside, all right? So you don't have to wait for exactly the green erases red entry, okay? You can get in when you see what you need to see for a profitable trade, all right? So there's SPY game plan. Let's take a look at QQQ game plan. Oh, man. My charts have been messing up on me, so see what happens here. See what happens here now. See, now it's all locked up. Okay, this is the QQQ game plan without all of the instructions. Lovely. All right, let's see. Let's just do this raw. All right. In other words, no postings here. Okay. QQQ game plan. Pivot is. Let's find out the pivot right here. 579.85. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. Red erases green. Underneath, I'm going to say 578.50. Okay, so underneath 578.50, we have a red erases green entry. I don't know where they are. It's like they just disappeared on me. I have a green erases red entry right up here over on QQQ, over 581.25. Okay, red erases green over 581.25. Okay, again, same thing. I like 7 days till expiration Friday options on the multiple of 5 that are $3 to $15 out of the money. I like 14 days Friday options on the multiple of 5 that are $3 to $15 out of the money. I like 10-minute uptrends over VWAP. I like 10-minute downtrends under VWAP. I like them when the uptrends are breaking up, and away from VWAP, and the downtrends are breaking down, and away from VWAP on both of those. Same as QQQ. Same options as QQQ, 7 and 14. Now, we're not opposed to trading 0 DTEs and 1 DTEs. You're going to get a little bit better performance out of those than you will out of a 7 and a 14. Okay, so if we get a 0 or a 1, or we happen to see a pattern or an uptrend that happens to manifest that looks like a possible move up towards, let's say, 585 for QQQ, or 590 for QQQ, or maybe even 650 for SPY. Again, we're not opposed to trading 1s and 0 DTEs. Keep in mind, they are very volatile, and they have when they have pullbacks, they will be harsh. You can get a SPY option that might be I don't know, close to, let's say it's a 650 strike, and then they've reached the top for the day, and they start pulling back. You know, you could see that thing drop from 65 cents well down to 15 cents inside of 2 hours. Okay, so that's a huge drop right there. So be careful, all right, when you trade those shorter time frames. Okay, so there's QQQ. On the daily chart, we didn't go over that. QQQ on the daily chart, same as SPY. Everybody got a lower high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Okay, over bullish trap over the 17 EMA. So that's bullish. If we look at that with the quad lines on it, you can see SPY, QQQ up at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish and still in an uptrend. FNGU. All right. Looking like an inside day. All right. Don't know how I got that wrong again. Okay. So lower high, higher low, closing inside over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. That's bullish up there at the top of quadrant 4. Okay, and still in a downtrend, but not moving down. Okay, so they got in a downtrend by getting below this tail right there, made a lower low. All right, now they got to take out the high to negate the downtrend. Okay, so price action on the daily charts in a downtrend, but not moving down. So this is bullish, but in a downtrend that's failing. All right, so let's take a look at IWM. IWM, lower high, lower low, closing over bullish trap over the 17 EMA up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish. They made a higher high, so they're in an uptrend right there. IWM, new rally high, not yesterday, but the day before. Let's take a look at Diamond Dow. Okay, Diamond Dow made inside day, so I think that's an inside day. High here is 449.64. High here 440. Yeah, inside day, lower high, higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. That's up at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. All right, they're still in a downtrend that's not working. Another one in a downtrend that's not working. Got a low right here. They made a lower low. So price action needs to take out this high in order to negate the downtrend that it's in. Here's the deal. It's bullish because it's up in quadrant 4 all the way up here at the top. Okay, it's in a downtrend that's technically accurate, but it's not moving down. All right, so again, another downtrend, a failing downtrend there. Okay, on Diamond Dow. All right, let's take a look at our T21 indicators. Start off with T21.22. We came all the way down from the overbought zone up here, landed in the seller's chop zone, spent half the day there. All right, testing the backside of this downtrend line. And then we spent half the day in the buyer's chop zone up here, holding on to the uptrend right there. That's T21.22. T21.23, 15-minute chart. Okay, so price action still in an uptrend on the 15. We made highs. We're making higher highs. So still in an uptrend on T21.23, 15-minute chart up over the 200 SMA right there. Okay, so that's bullish. Notice the bullish gap. Okay, the bears couldn't fill the bullish gap after 2 days. That's a good sign for the bulls right there. Maybe we can run up and challenge this high. and maybe even take out that high. Okay, still got a bearish gap here, and it seems like to me like we kind of filled part of the gap, and we gapped part of the gap right there on T2123. So filling bearish gaps and gapping over some of it. All right, T2123. Here's the 3-bar chart of the same product. Again, this is the all-time high right here. Price action is up over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. You can see us consolidating up here in the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish. Price action makes higher highs. All right, so we're in an uptrend. All right, and we're still consolidating up here at the top of quadrant 4. We're dealing with this peak, and then of course the all-time high. Okay, so if I put my crosshairs up at the top of this rally high right up there, you can see those 2 peaks over there that I pointed out are what stopped price from moving higher. Okay, so you can see this consolidation right here took about 2 months to build out from here over to here. Okay, maybe a month and a half. Okay, maybe a little exaggerated there, but anyways, you can see price action. All right, it's not going to cut through there in one 4-hour candle. It's gonna take a little while. So you can see now we're trying to break through those highs. After we get over those highs, right up there, okay, all that's left is the all-time high, and I think we get a new all-time high. I don't know. I can't guarantee it, but I really think price is going to make a new all-time high. All right, that's T2123. FNGU kind of flaky yesterday, up. Okay, up over VWAP for the most part of the day, spending most of the day up over VWAP, but dipping down below right through here, still holding those higher ground up there. So now we've got a bull flag manifesting inside of another bull flag on a bigger bull flag. Okay, so still got consolidation over consolidation. We're starting now to form more consolidation over consolidation. Okay, so that's a bullish behavior. That is a bullish environment. Okay, let me get my drawing tools out here. Anytime you see price move up and hold the higher ground, that is a bullish move. That is a bullish behavior. So price moves up and holds the higher ground, that's a bullish behavior. Okay, that's a bullish behavior. That's a bullish behavior. Okay, that's a bullish behavior. That's a bullish environment. Again, that's bullish whenever you see that happen. When you see this happen, move up and then come back, that's a neutral behavior. Okay, now when you see this move up, move back, and then rip to a new high, that's a bullish behavior. Okay, so when the pullbacks don't come all the way back to where they manifested or originated from. Okay, you can see price action moves up and over to the right. And then we start another launch pad. We launch into building another launch pad. Okay, and then we're building out another launch pad after we launch up even higher. Okay, see price is bullish right through here. Now we watch the FNGU. It's got 10 of the most heavily weighted securities inside the QQQ and SPY. All right, and what that does is sometimes those 10, when they move as a pack together, they can drag the indexes in whatever direction they're moving, regardless of what the other 480 are doing in the SPY or whatever the other 90 are doing inside the QQQ. All right, so keep in mind, this is a big market influencer, is the FNGU, and the 10 securities inside the FNGU only has 10, all right, but they are some of the biggest mega caps, all right, inside QQQ and SPY. So when they start moving as a pack, they can really influence the direction of QQQ and SPY. All right, let's take a look at the economic package, then we'll look at how we're going to trade this. Okay, US dollar still in a uptrend because we made higher lows, higher highs. Still in an uptrend, all right? Just pulling back right now. Closed yesterday around 98.22, 98.20 area, all right? Price is in a bear flag, All right, currently bear flag moving down and over to the right. We are caught underneath all of this right there. That once was major support, and now it's minor resistance. Okay, you can see we tested minor resistance and failed to hold over it. All right, so now we are building out a bear flag to the downside. Hopefully that produces a move that's even lower. We'll see what happens. There's the US dollar index. All right, when the dollar is cheap, our markets do well because our goods and services are cheaper globally. So in the global market space, we like a cheap dollar because it makes our goods and services more competitive. Okay, for the consumer in us, it sucks because it means everything that we're going to buy is going to cost more. But in the investor inside of us, hey, that's a wonderful thing because now we're opening up new markets. Okay, so that's why we follow the dollar and track it. Let's take a look at max pain for today. Really low numbers, 628. Okay, I don't really see us hitting 628. Anything's possible. All right, and we have an options expiration Friday today. We have a put to call ratio of 3.8 puts to each call. Tremendous put squeeze available. Again, if they give them a one little downward move, okay, they need to apply the pressure from right out of the gate and keep moving up, and that will cause the puts to have to cover, and that will drive price really fast to the upside. Okay, they have to apply the pressure. So in other words, when we open up the market for this put squeeze to work, we got to move out flat, all right, and then immediately to the upside, not giving them a chance to double down and get out at break even. All right, that's what we need to do. We'll see what happens. All right, so that's max pain. Earnings report again today. Nothing here but familiar names. Nothing that's going to move the markets. Economic calendar. We've got retail sales at 8:30. Empire State Manufacturing Index 8:30. Import-export prices 8:30. Industrial production 9:15. Business inventories at 10. Consumer sentiment at 10. And a rig count at 1 o'clock. All right. I don't really see any of this really mattering to the market. I mean, we did have a little bit of pop in inflation with the PPI from yesterday, and the market rallied. Okay, I think the market already knows we're expecting a cut. So based on that, when they do announce the cut, be careful for the move down because it appears to me like they're baking it in right now. Okay, just saying, okay? If PPI is coming out with a little bit hot, all right, and they're going to announce a rate cut in September, all right, and just saying, like when they announce that rate cut in September, it feels like the market's already baked in the rate cut, all right? So when that happens, be prepared for what I'm telling you now. It's going to be already baked in. That's the way it appears to me right now, okay? I don't know, but that's just what I see happening. Here's an inflation that's a little hot yesterday on PPI, and the market rallied right back up. All right, so just saying, all right? Just saying. All right, SPY. Let's take a look how we want to trade SPY and QQQ today. We've got the pre-market on, and let's start with, let's go back to FNGU for this one. All right, and let's move over here to pre-market, post-market. Okay, I'm going to mark off the highs and the lows. Okay, so I'm going to pull up my drawing tools. Okay, I'm going to mark off this high. Okay. Going to mark off this high right here. I'm going to mark off this low right here. Okay, so post-market, pre-market combined, high and low. Then I'm going to box off the first 15 minutes. Okay, I don't know where it's going to go. Let's just say, for instance, this 3 candles let's just say for example that these three candles right here, 1, 2, 3, happen to be the first 15 minutes. So I'll take this box and I'll box them in. Okay, now whoever breaks out of that range is probably the direction that I'm going to go with. Okay, again, I'm looking for 10-minute uptrends and 10-minute downtrends. Okay, we left off yesterday. Price was coiling up. All right. In other words, we went up to the top and see how we started to make higher lows and then a higher low, and we all stopped right up here. Okay, so it's coiling up. This is winding up to make a move to the upside. So I would look for the up 10-minute uptrend. Not saying that it's going to happen, but based on the coiling up that happened right here yesterday, I see a move to the upside, even though, see, the pre-market's already up here already. So I can see a move to the upside seems more likely. All right. So if we gap up, I got a feeling, all right, in order for the put squeeze to be effective, if we do gap up, all right, I would like to see that the put squeeze gap up and go. No filling the gap. If we fill the gap, that will give the puts an opportunity to get out. All right. So I see for the put squeeze to work, we need them to, and they gap up. We need to see them gap and go. All right. So there's SPY again on the first 15 minutes. Whoever breaks out of the range there, and I would like to see a candle close. See how this tail came down here and didn't close down here? Don't get faked out. All right. Wait for the candle to close, and then that's your trade for me. Okay, now Fridays are notorious at the end of the day for pinning the number to a certain location. All right, so you may see later today them pin the number to 649. Okay, not saying we're going to get to 649, but I'm just saying they're notorious at around 2:30, all right, in order to deliver as much pain to the expiring options, okay, they will likely pin it to some number, okay? I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I'm just saying it seems to happen every Friday, all right? So wherever we're moving, it's probably going to be done by 2:30 or 2 o'clock, all right? Just saying, all right? So that you're prepared for that. And then after that, if you want to take off for the rest of the day and start your weekend, by all means, okay? Notice we didn't close a candle here, didn't close a candle here, all right? Again, wait, have the patience to wait for the candle to close before picking your direction. All right, traders, that's it for me, all right? I'll see you guys in 45 minutes, and we'll open up the market. For all of you that in the room, okay, I did record yesterday. It's a long recording. Thank you, Alan. Okay, it's a long recording, okay, but and there's a lot of silence in there, okay? But there it is. There's the whole day, and that's me making 40K on a 200K account. Here's my account. Okay, so I left off with 197. Okay, I started the day with 197 and I brought it all the way up to 280, 238 right there. This is me tracking. This is the open house 27K account. Okay, so I mark it off right here. Okay, so that's me, and you'll see it. All right, again, I wouldn't listen to the whole thing. I just look through and see the numbers. Now, in order to understand what's going on, you'll see I fan out, all right, sell orders up above my position, and I fan out buy orders underneath my position. All right, when price rallies high, it runs into my sell orders. I get filled. Price retraces back or dips, okay, I reload. All right, goes up, I sell. Dips back, reload. All right, it's a constant ebb and flow. All right, but there's the whole day right there if you want to see it. And there's the link. Okay, it's an unlisted link. You're not going to find it on YouTube. It's for members. Okay. All right, traders, that's it. See you guys in about 40 minutes. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Alan.